Yes, we've got Jerry Jones here, as Jerry is now in his 30th NFL training camp. In fact, Jerry, you have now owned the Cowboys longer than Tom Landry coached the Cowboys, and all started up the road in Thousand Oaks in 1989 for you. Does it seem like 29 years so far?
Well, I haven't worked a day in 29 years. I know that. It's been so much more rewarding and so much more interesting than I could have ever thought. But I remember right on this very field, we came up to practice Al Davis and the Oakland Raiders from Thousand Oaks 30 years ago. And I remember walking out here and Al being here to meet us, and we had a practice on this field with the Raiders. And wow, at that time, 30 years was like 5 lifetimes. I couldn't think that far.
There were simpler times then.
Well, certainly was that.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to your press conference earlier in the week, where you said the number one reason you're excited about this season is Jason Garrett and this coaching staff. My question, what's the number two reason you're excited?
Well, I think that the young players that they're going to be coaching, it's a lot of fun. You're, as a coach, you're more impressionable to a younger player than maybe a seasoned veteran, and that's not to knock any seasoned veteran that's ever played. But we've got a young team, we've got a fresh coaching staff, apart from the head coach and the two coordinators. This is pretty significant dynamic, and I can see it. I can see the way their enthusiasm in the meetings. I can see their way they carry themselves. What we need to have, though, is some early success. We need to have early success in training camp, try to avoid any major setback, hopefully a major injury or anything like that, but early success with the games and how these guys play. Because when a young guy thinks he can and then he does it, then he goes to the next step. And these are good athletes that we're working with.
You know, there are people that will say when you say your number one reason that you're excited is the coaching staff, that automatically puts the coaching staff on the hot seat. You don't look at it that way.
Well, I think this coaching staff, you'd have to say, is on the hot seat when they're coaching the Dallas Cowboys. And there's no such thing anymore as low expectations any place in the NFL, but certainly with our Dallas Cowboys. And we have every reason to have high expectations.
So how high are those expectations?
Well, I think we have a team that can play better defense than it played last year. And I certainly think we can be a better offensive team. We've learned a lot. Some teams had their eye on us a little bit. We gave a little tendency to them that we need to flex it up a little bit, be a little less obvious about some of the things we were doing from game to game. All that's coaching, but all of that will manifest itself, I think, in a real effective offense, fresh offense, as well as a hyped-up defense.
All right, speaking of your offense, Dak Prescott, this is the third straight camp, and in just a week into this one, about the most impressive person that I've seen in camp is Dak Prescott, and not so much I'm seeing on the field. How he handles the anthem questions with the media over here, just his entire makeup. Getting him in the fourth round is a steal. But my question, and I give you full credit for picking Dak Prescott in the fourth round, but I sit here and wonder, why'd you wait till the fourth round to draft this guy?
Well, I would agree with you. You know, at the Senior Bowl, the great young quarterback, Wentz, our coaching staff had him on our side of the ball at the Senior Bowl. The guy quarterbacking on the other side of the ball was Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott won the best quarterback in the game, the most valuable player. And generally, when the coaches would get together, and they did, and compare, Dak got rave reviews. And so Dak is not a surprise. However, had anybody known Dak Prescott was capable of coming in and competing in the NFL and has the future he's got, I'll assure you he wouldn't have gotten out of the first round.
How surprised are you that Des Bryant hasn't found a new team yet?
Very surprised. Des is a player that can really help a team win and win at a high level. He's basically, you know, Des is very emotional. He's very invested with himself. I love him. We've kind of had a little tit for tat, negative tit for tat this week.
Right.
But I've spent years in real serious meetings with Dez. I love him. I wish and hope that he gets on the team. If he does, he'll do a great job. It was just time for us to move on.
Yeah, okay, when that Twitter storm happens, you don't strike me as being a Twitter guy. When that Twitter storm happens the other day, how do you find out about it? I love the way Sean Lee handled the situation out here on the field.
Yeah, and of course, I do respect what Sean Lee is as a leader for our team. And by the way, he's that matter of fact. He's that self-evaluating person every day with his teammates. He doesn't take the easy way around the block, so to speak. And so he basically spoke back to Dez, of course. But Dez is emotional, but Dez is real. He's real. He's not always right. Nobody is, but he's real. Think the world of him. He will. I predict he'll get on a team and he'll be successful.
All right. You also said at the press conference the other day that the front seven on defense might be the best that, or up there with the best that you've ever had here, given good health. DeMarcus Lawrence looks like he's already in midseason form out here.
Yeah. I think our talent level and the fact that in the front seven we have such depth, and you really do need depth of rotation. And even player flex. And the best ones that I've ever been around played 7 and 8 guys down. And then they actually had some depth at the linebacker, which we really do too. My highlight for the last 2 practices have been watching our linebackers out here the last couple of days.
All right. Also a highlight for you is that your grandson, John Stephen Jones, Landry Award winner, 2-time state champion at Highland Park, who's now at the University of Arkansas, is out here with a couple of his buddies. That state championship game, it was one of the best football games I've ever seen. Where does that rank for you?
Me too. I'll tell you, I had a chance in college to play on a national championship team, and there's no question it was a big part of why I wanted to be a part of the Cowboys. And then I've gotten to be with the Cowboys for 30 years. Nothing has ever matched or surpassed the feeling that you've got when you get to work with a young son, in this case a grandson, and get to be a part in some way. Now, my job with John Stephen, to make him the great player that he is to give his dad, my son, mouth-to-mouth respiration between plays when he faints between there. Now, that's my sole contribution to John Stephen's success. But I'll tell you this right now. When you involve it like this, it shows what sports, football, family, and it can be a real thrill when they get involved. And believe you me, we just represent a few of the Joneses that are out here taking pride in John Stephen.
Can't wait to get Stephen's reaction to that comment. Jerry, we appreciate it. Good luck to you. And we'll have much more in just a moment here from Oxnard, California.